once or within a week.
Uh-huh.
But most of the time, I just don't have time during the day.
Right. You
But
just skip them while you work.
every once in a blue moon, I'll have a really slow work week and I'll just turn it on in the background and be watching that. And every once in a while, I'll look over at my monitor for work and be like, oh yeah, here, let me wiggle my mouse.
Oh yeah, yeah. Making sure they see that I'm available. Yeah. That's the
Making sure the little teens icon's still green and not yellow.
exactly. Yeah, I keep cutting that. They did an update with our teams because I used to be able to say I could set it for longer, that it wouldn't like time out. But when you restart it, it resets it. But now I can't find out. They've either moved it or disabled it, so you can't turn it off. Let's see. The doctor steps in and grabs the defender's left elbow. Why would you do that? With his right hand and attempts to execute a left roundhouse punch to the defender's head. Again, why would you do that? Defender steps in and blocks it with a knife hand punch to the bicep, followed immediately by a single knuckle punch to the temple area. Great care to be. Yep. Defender circles his hand with a grabbed arm over the top of the, comes up underneath the attacker's arm. The outside, coming in. Grabbing the knee. Lifting his elbow and left hand upward shoulder lock. Yep. The attacker.
Grabbed arm.
Grabbing hand.
Attacker's grabbing arm in the elbow area and comes up underneath, lifting the elbow.
Oh, okay. All right. So sometimes I have to read this. I have to like read the punchline to figure out what's going on.
Like, hang on, it says up underneath to the inside, but then it's an outside shoulder lock.
Yeah. It's
The attacker's grabbing hand will end up under the armpit of the defender. And
yeah.
a good must be maintained in the
It's
attacker's
not really.
elbow.
Yeah, it doesn't really end up in the armpit. So what's going on this? They're gonna grab. They're gonna throw. You're gonna block one. Boom. Strike two. On this one, you're coming up and around. And this is the one that Drew hates because it's the one where you actually hook up their elbow. So you're going to come on the outside of the grabbed arm. Wish there was some way I could simulate this with the Shatsu. So maybe there is. Who knows? Maybe I can figure something out. They're there. They've grabbed you, so you're coming around on the outside and up. So because their hand will be here.
I might need to do this one. Hang on. Jay, can I borrow you, please?
Man up, Skipper. Have one of the dogs attack you.
Yeah, see, he would do it.
There he is. Hey, man, how's it going?
What am I doing?
Right.
You're gonna grab my elbow
With this hand or this hand?
with that hand.
Under?
Actually,
Up? Over?
just grab. Just reach out and grab it.
Yep, that'll work.
That way. I think that you helped me with this one before.
Yep. Knife hand. Elbow strike. Okay. So now your left hand is going to circle out. There you go. Yep. Out and around. So keep it in a sort of spear configuration. You're going to come in and you need to step in just a little bit. You're going to do a body change. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of scoop in under his arm. Hang on. I got to make you big so I can see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna angle this up since we don't see feet as much. There we go. You look motless, Sally.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, okay.
You look good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Boom. All right.
This-
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Huh?
Okay.
There you go. And then come up and body change. So let that hand go. Don't worry about that hand anymore. At least there you go. Yeah, because you've already like broken his wrist and boom, flummoxed him. Then just if that hand's going to stay there, it's not like a taekwondo attack where that hand just drops away. So you just boom, knock it out of the way, and then do this. And one fluid movement. So now body change back with your right foot when you're doing that.
I change back with my right foot.
Yeah. There you go. There it is, right there. There it is. Go easy, go slow down. So this technique works really well, or it doesn't. Like there was somebody who was one of Nathan's students, big guy. What was his name? Anyway, whatever the thing was, he would grab you and you would do that technique, and his hands would just slip off. Like he would never. He could, as much as he would consciously try and hang on to your elbow, it would just slip off. So it's gone, right? And this is one of those ones where it only works if they are committed to that grab, right? So, I mean, really, we should do knife hand, temple strike, and then grab the hand and hook it and hold it so it stays there. So forget the punch and the temple strike, because that's not the operative part of this technique, and it causes way too much confusion. So just get back in Hikadach. He grabs you. Jason, don't punch your wife.
Don't or do.
Stop. I'll take a screenshot of that, and then you'll have a blackmail. All right. So just wait.
He's not.
So just worry about your left hand. Take that hand and basically just make a circle and careful, just nice and easy, nice and slow. All right. Take it a nice big slow, and then put your hand, like your knife hand, right there, like on where his elbow is. All right. Now do a body change and slide that up underneath.
Body change.
Yep. There you go. All right. So
Yeah.
this is one that you got to kind of massage, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to grab you.
Shoulder up.
Yeah. Well, the way it's going to end up, this is the way he's going to look. Like this. Your pressure is going to be up underneath his elbow. It says armpit, whatever. I don't know what they're talking about. That's not what this is.
Your hand will end up under the armpit of the defender, and a good bend must be maintained in the attacker's elbow, or the lock will be.
Yeah. So there's a little wiggling. Yeah. Yeah. But what you want to do is, no, you had it right the first time. But what you're going to want to do is, this is the one, I don't know if you ever saw me talk about, where you're pointing your finger up at the sky. You ever see me teach the guys where they're doing that, and you come up and you do that? That's what you're doing. Yep, you want it to come through, exactly. But you want to body change just a little bit more. And what you want to do is you want to maintain that bend. So when they grab your arm like that, when you do that circle, you want, see, I need somebody. When that hand comes around, you want to make a bend in that elbow. Right?
Hers or mine?
Yours.
Okay.
Your capper.
Yeah, because I'm blocking it. I know.
Right.
So you're
No,
under
oh,
my arm.
I'm sorry. No. You want to cut to the inside. I'm sorry. My bad. So grab her. Right. You're going to want to come to the inside. There you go. I think. Yeah. And then out. Right.
That's what
And then body change.
and body change.
Yeah. But you want to get that bend in his arm. This is a tough. This is clearly. If I had somebody to attack me, this is one night where Beckon is not here, because this will be. All right. Because what you want is his arm, right, to bend a little bit. So you're gonna exploit it up. You want it to bend a little bit. That way you get that arm in, and it's coming up like that. So
You're not locking my elbow and my shoulder, not forcing it.
Circles, grab the arm, top of the grabbing arm in the elbow area, and comes up underneath the attacker's arm, lifting his elbow and affecting an upward shoulder lock.
I guess I don't quite understand upward shoulder lock it.
So take your left arm, yep, and rest it on his elbow. Rest your shuto on his elbow. No, just like a shuto lock. There you go. All right. So now let's get that. So now body change in. You may need to step in a little bit, but body change in, because you want to keep that elbow in, and then just bring it through from the outside to the end. There you go. See, that's where it loses right there. That's okay, because if you keep his pressure up against your arm, you can resave it by basically just coming up more with your arm. But that's what happens when if you don't do this There you go. So Jason, you need to attack her like you mean it. You just hang on to it. You really, 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 really don't want to let go of that.
But it hurts my wrist. So
All right, so now put your hand on his elbow. Whoop. There you go. Push it. Yeah, hang on there. There you go. Now body change. Back with your right. There. Back with your right. There you go. All right. Now let your and yep. You want your hand to slide through.
and pivot my elbow that way. It
Yeah.
off balance and it actually causes.
So, and you may have short arms. It just may not work with you. Aww. And at the end, she never does that with me when I do the technique on her.
Yeah. It helped.
Because what you're wanting to do is get that arm through and around and basically right in through here, right? And then up. So, yep.
But I don't want to do it.
No, it's fine because I know it's coming. But when you pivot that way, it automatically moves your elbow this way, which then forces my arm this way.
Right. And you want his arm to go through, and then you want your hand, like I say, to be coming up like that. So his elbow will be kind of in the crux of your arm right here. And the rest of his hand will be back here.
So if I'm supposed to,
I keep hoping that my family will show up and then I'll be able to demonstrate. Yeah. So how you had your hand, yep, that's more or less it. You just want your hand to come through. And it may be you have shorter arms that you can't do it. I got the long monkey arms. It works really great on me or me. But yeah, set it in, bend it a little. So you're gonna arm up. There you go. Yeah, there it is. Now kind of fish your hand through and body change back with your left. There you go. You're almost there. You're getting close.
that pivot really does the trick because it this the lever and it just turns my arm in.
As an anchor?
Yeah. And then you make a circle. Yeah.
I hope
I
I'm
need to trademark that crap.
Circles.
anchors and circles.
Ankles and circles.
Ankles and circles.
Ankles and circles.
That's right. There you go. Good. Yep. Oh, so much, so close.
You guys this tonight.
Oh, that's all right.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Has he got the same kind of shoulders I got?
They're close. They're
Okay,
not quite to your
that's it. That's all I got. Yeah.
10 years and we'll be there.
Hey now.
Hey now, I'm just saying, 10 years from now. I'm not saying that you're 10 years old, although you might be.
Hey now.
Just saying.
Think she's calling you old.
Yeah, I believe she is. That's the.
You're first. You got here first. You won.
Pretty good. Well played. All right. Okay. I tap. You got here first. You won. I'm gonna remember that one. All right. So So the big one on that one is, you need to have somebody whose shoulders you don't care if you separate, right? But it's that hand.
It's the body change that gets it.
Well, the body change is what actually, but getting that hand in the right place and that sort of bend of the elbow and bending it, because if they grab you and they punch and they do the thing, and you knock them out of the way or whatever. Once you start to do that move, like when you move your arm, it'll start pulling them out. So you got to kind of like make it small,
The quick
hook it
thing.
around, and you get very craney on this, right? Everyone's always looking for the crane. Well, that's part of the crane. And at the end of the road, it should be twisted up, right? And your finger should be pointed up because you want all that pressure going up.
Right.
And then it says the opposite hand is supposed to put them on their chest so they don't turn.
Oh, yeah.
That's never.
It's rude.
We used to just do a thing where you just take this and you do that up against their chest, and that was supposed to stop them. But the bigger the opponent, the less likely that is to happen. So.
Me against Ben isn't going to work.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Pretty much none of this is going to work against Ben. You kick him in the knee and run. We used to have Big Mike, who was Don Sensei senior student after me, and he had wrists like that. I mean, he used to work on an oil platform and stuff like that, and so he'd grab you in Tuite or whatever, and he'd be like, "If you can make it work on me, it'll work." He goes, he says, but it probably will not work on me, and he was right.
Yeah.
So he said, you need to punch somebody to make it work. Okay, let's see, number 4.
Defenders left elbow hand and attempts to execute a left roundhouse. Hey, that sounds familiar.
I know, he's a foolish attacker.
Bicep,
Steps in, block,
neck.
knife hand strike to the neck. Good. With the other hand, grab the attacker's elbow with a grabbing arm.
Grabbing
And push it
arm.
down the attack.
Oh, that's that one. Okay, it's a lot. The compression.
No, this is the one where and pulls down.
Grab the attacker's elbow with the grabbing arm. The defender then pushes down on the attacker's head and pulls down on the elbow in the same direction at the same time to effect a takedown.
Take down. Yeah, you're coming up under here.
Knee on right shoulder, right elbow on right knee, executing an armbar. Okay, I do remember this one.
I'm trying to remember, is this the push through or is this the?
This is the knife hand, grab and take down, and then the armbar.
No, this isn't the compression one. That's not that one.
No, it's not
this
the
is-
compression. You just, this is to grab the back of the head and pull with the arm at the same time.
Yeah.
I think the next one's the compression.
Places the left knee on the attacker's right shoulder. This is the attacker's right elbow on his right knee.
This is the one that's really, really hard to picture because you can't tell if the defender's supposed or the attacker's supposed to end up face up or face down.
Yeah. So that's the one you need to keep all your. You're only here. You're gonna pivot, but you're not gonna step back and throw. You're just gonna pivot right here on your lead leg.
Right. And then you end up with him on your, with his arm over your knee and your knee on his other shoulder.
Yeah, this is boom and then on the shoulder. And then bend over. Yeah. That's it. I like that one.
Mhm.
Let's see if there's anything. I think grab his elbow, the grabbing arm. Oh yeah, and so also on that one, when you're when you grab that arm after you've blocked, strike, and you grab that arm, bring it in. Use your grabbies, your fingers, your digits, and whatnot to kind of put some pressure and bring it in. So they'll bring it in or they'll bring it up. But that way, if it brings it in closer to their body, that does that number too, right? So if you're in close and then your nose all right here, you're basically just going to throw them where you are. You're going to open the door and drop them down. And then when you do that, you can just, come right down with that knee, right?
But it says
And that way, all your granola stays in one spot.
places his knee on the right shoulder and the right elbow on the right knee.
I think that's a
Typo?
yeah. Unless they're kidding, if you come in and you throw them down, see, that's why I think this one is no, that's not, because if you throw them through, they come down. On this one, if you throw them, this is basing that they're going to go, for you to do that on their right shoulder.
That's the arm that's grabbed. So
They would have to go down. They would have to go face down.
So
And
if you do on the shoulder, there's no way you can do a right hand arm bar over your right leg.
Right. I think that's a mistake. It should be, because he'll be on his back, and you'll put your left knee, and put your right knee.
I see. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you should put your right knee on his right shoulder.
Yeah.
And then the arm goes over the knee into the arm bar.
That may have been a miss. Because they're here. They go up here, block in here. Bow, bow. Grab here. They're coming in here. Oh yeah, this is also the one. If you want, probably not for you, but maybe if you're the same size or a little bigger, when you hit them and you grab their head, if you bring them in, just like bring them into your chest, boom, and that way they're kind of, you know, like this, face up against your chest or whatever. Or if you want, you can just give them a little headshot. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do it. Say again?
Nobody wins with a headbutt.
Nobody wins with a headbutt, right? But you bring them in close, because when you bring them in close, again, they're in your core, right? And you've got them all bound up and hamajang here. You're grabbing this thing, it's pulling that arm in or whatever, and then all your granola is on your lead leg or whatever, and then you just pivot, boom, down, because when they're down right here, if I throw them down right here, then my granola is not going this way and down, it's all just going down. So if I throw them down, basically what I'm saying is, like, if I pivot them around on that, I'm still in the same place, essentially, that I am. And then I'm just gonna drop. So all my weight, I'm gonna spin them around and then drop straight down on top of them, as opposed to spin them out and throw them. That's what I was talking about earlier about throwing somebody out. I want to throw them down, so that way all my weight's just dropping.
Great.
Yep, just like that.
That makes
Just like
sense.
that.
Yes, it's there.
Maybe remind me one of these days when we get back into person and whatnot. We'll get a bag, one of the couple of the pads or something, and put them in there, and just get used to people just dropping down. You know, like getting all that weight down, so they know they're not putting they're keeping their head above their butt, and they're just dropping down.
I always have a pad with me.
Always.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but you want something kind of maybe like some of the kicking pads or something that's a little bit. A heavy bag is good.
Okay.
Can't wait to get back. Can't
Will
wait to
do.
get back. Can't get back to my face. Write that down. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Attacker steps in. Left elbow again. Man, this guy is relentless. Right hand. Knife hand steps in. Knife hand block. Bicep. Knife hand strike to the neck. Chest touch. Don't hit. With the other hand, the defender will execute a spear hand over the top. Second outside, jab him to the ribs. Then grab the gi, because they'll probably be wearing one. Press down on his arm and press down on his neck with the opposite. Yeah. So this is another one where, like I'm talking about, doing that grab and getting their elbow to kind of clench in a little bit. That's what they're talking about. So he's grabbing here because he's foolish. He punches.
Okay. Left with a knife hand block to the bicep, knife hand to the neck. Hey, that's familiar.
Mm-hmm.
With his other hand, defender will execute a spear hand over the top of the grabbing hand by circling the outside and jabbing the ribs. So that would be that way. Okay.
Yeah, this way. So it'll be here. You're coming this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming outside. Big circle. Just like
Press down on the arm and press down on the neck with the opposite hand.
Yeah. So just like number 2, Tuite, cross grab where you're coming around like that. That's kind of what you're doing this, and only you're going to the outside. Actually, I guess like number 1, you keep your anchor here. Well, they've already grabbed you, so instead of anchoring your elbow to your ribs, they're already doing it for you. And you're going to come out and around and in. So you're going to shoot in here. Bam, bam, and then grab. China and kind
So
of.
do you have his arm locked in here then?
Yeah. You're going to come across this side and in, right? Yep, just like that.
Okay.
Kind of like when you're doing that.
So
You do it
here,
with
and
one hand.
this is pressure on the neck, right?
It will eventually.
Press down on the neck with the opposite hand at the same time to effect the takedown. Change body back with the right foot to complete the throw. And then punch him in the
You're gonna have him when you do. Oh, he's grabbing this hand, right? Boom. So it depends on where the body. If his body weight's like all over here, then you just gonna step back, boom, and throw. Right. If his body weight is over here in the middle, with me, I would just do that body change and end up kind of doing number 2 because you're kind of right there. Well, actually, no, you're off. Anyway, but this is one you're really kind of merging your granolas together on this one because you're hitting here, you're hanging on to them, and then you're doing that and hanging on to them and pushing in. So all his weight's going to kind of sink in here, and then you're just going to step back. Boom.
This is to change body with the right foot.
Yeah, does it? I think so.
Change body back with the right foot to complete the throw.
Right.
So if you got him by the neck with your right hand,
Right.
you change body this way,
Step back. So you're
down with your hand with on the neck. So am I scooped around the back of his neck?
yeah, you're gonna. Crap, is that far enough? I don't know. Can you see? So he's grabbing here. He's gonna do that thing. I'm gonna boom, boom, right, and grab here. So when I do that, like I say, when I grab and compression and do that thing, his body weight, right, he's gonna do this and do that. When I do this, that's gonna pull him in here, right? This hand is gonna pull him in here. So he is gonna be on the right side of my center line.
So, okay, so you
Right.
pull
So,
down.
but yeah, I'm stepping in with my right hand. He's grabbed the left. He's striking left. I'm blocking inside with my right. Strike him in the neck. Come around. Whoosh, spear hand. Grab, lock him in. And when I do that, he will be on my right side. That's my right side. Right side of my center line a little bit. My lead leg's back, so I'm just going to step back.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. If I'm coming around the mountain, then. Okay. I think I have it.
And so on this one, the important safety tip is that you have now chosen to weld yourself to this person. So, you know, even if they're not nice enough to wear a gi, you know, I mean, that's the other thing. When we do this in practice a couple times, you grab the gi because I was going to wear them, but you should always practice it with somebody who's willing to let you grab them. Like fully, you know, because you're gonna do it, bam, so you're gonna, you know, fingertip in, boom, and then you're gonna go china on them and boom, grab something, get up underneath their ribs, or just grab some excess whatever. You're gonna grab something, and that is also gonna make them do that, right? So you've done this, and they're gonna do that, and you're doing this to keep their head kind of square, you know. So really, part of me kind of thinks you should go step back and just again throw them down, because there's a good chance that their head will shift to the left side of your, anyway. But you need to grab whatever the material, whatever, but grab it. You're gonna take them down, you're gonna throw them, but their arm is gonna be like wrapped into your arm, right?
Right.
So, you know, when you're throwing them, they're gonna be trying to hang on to something, and you've already, you know, you've basically given them something to hang on to. That's one of the reasons I don't really like this one so much, but it's kind of cool. But anyway, you do that throw, and then you're, boom, and say punch right or left. I think this is left.
Ooh, I love following up a punch.
So,
Ooh.
so when you throw them down, you got to hope that their arm comes out so you can unleash that punch. For good or ill, right?
Punch it with the other hand.
Punch them with the other hand. Punch them with the hand that is free.
Exactly.
If their hand pulls out, then, you know, yay. But but that's it. But on all of these, one of the things that you're really trying to control is figure out is where their granola is going to be relative to yours. And it looks like on most of these, you don't want to throw them away, you want to throw them down. So,
Right.
And down is okay too. I mean, and if, you know, throw them hard and then slip out. That's okay. That'd be nice to do. I told, what was it? I think it was, well, I guess it wasn't Tuesday, so it must have been last Thursday. When you weren't here, about I got to do a brake fall the other day over the bike because I was riding Laura's bike, down a trail in Eureka Springs, and I'm not used to a bike, and I got a little square there in a jump. And anyway, but and so I did a roll, and I was good. But it's really loose and shaly and rocky here. So I did that roll. I did the brake fall, but I'm still going downhill. So there's scrapes all back here, and there's scrapes on my knee, and I did an excellent brake fall, but the surface was not accommodating. It was not accommodating. Yeah, so because I had forward momentum, so that's kind of one of the things that when I do stuff like that, I immediately start analyzing it, and I go like, well, when we do this in the dojo, you're throwing somebody, and do you have forward momentum or do you have downward momentum? If I just had downward momentum, I think I'd have been okay, but I had forward momentum. So the bike stopped suddenly and I kept going. So, but, because then when Beck finally, I got back up and got on my bike and finally caught up to Beck, he's like, where were you? And I was like, I was back there on the ground. Thanks for waiting for me. But I tell you, he said like, well, you should have done and I said, I did, but I mean, there's still a price to be paid from the ground. I came out better than I would have had I not known how to brake fall, but still, I know. Anyway, it'll be good to get back and do match again. All right, that was all of those, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's only 5 for risky.
Only 5 of those. All right, so we got.
And EPON is the same through all the greens, so that's
a little bit.
good.
We got.
When we are back to touchy-feely again, I'd like to do the change body drills with an actual partner.
Oh yeah, well that'd be nice.
I think I've done it like 3 times total with partner.
Yep.
Yep. And that's
yep.
green belt also.
Yeah, we need to do that. There's a lot of those that, I mean, change body drills, they're a requirement, but I mean, it's change body. But yeah, we need to start doing those. That's why I was kind of trying to salt that in with, when we're doing the basics and stuff and doing it with a body change, but not tripping over that rock.
That was what Oliver Sensei commented on, was doing the change body with the basics. He really liked
that. Awesome. I like hearing that.
all last week, the Tuesday video yet, but Oliver Sensei took the time to make a comment about it.
Yeah? Oh, awesome. Yeah, Brian said like, oh, it was really cool that he came in. I was like, yes, it's very cool that he comes in. I think it's amazing that he and not only that he's still coming in, I think that's
cool. I mean,
he's got full classes going now.
I know. I mean, yeah, he could be doing anything with anybody, and yet he chooses to hang out with us, Oops. Oh, wrong button. Press the wrong button. Why did I press that button? Well, open. Hang on.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab my water cup.